Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Punch House, the online show where humans take to the internet to do what they do best, argue with each other over trivial nonsense. And here comes the only person with the machismo to bring you this madness, your host, Brianna Woodward.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Punch House with me, your host, Brianna. Today, I have my very special friends, Brian BBQ, Nick Martucci, and Charles Entress to help me figure out the top 2 brawlers in the category of talk show hosts. So I am very excited to see who y'all picked and what you got to say. So, are you ready to fucking fight this out?
Hell yeah, let's fight with words!
Hell yeah, everybody! Fuck yeah! Alright, I'm gonna kick things off with my pick, John Oliver. He's my fucking favorite! Don't give me sass with your face, Brian! Okay, listen, alright, let me explain. John Oliver, his attack, I gave it a 3. Like, he's not gonna be slow, but he's not gonna be, like, fast. He's not going to be in it, but whatever. So I give him a 3. Strength, gave him a 2, because again, he is a little bit of a nerd. I understand this, but he looks tall, and he has big, tall energy, and I love him. I just, but I gave a strength a 2. I was honest about it, but here's why I picked him and why I kept him in the fight, okay? His defense, 5. The man can defend anything. He is very smart. I feel like he will have a good strategy. And, like, if all else fails, I don't know, he has, like, a bunch of money. I'm sure he would probably do something fucking crazy. He's like, I just bought this crazy arena, so we're actually fighting in my house now because I'm John Oliver, and that is what we do. So I gave him a 5 in defense, and same thing, stamina. Also I gave him a 4 in stamina, because like his show, I'm pretty sure, is still going on strong, and I think he wouldn't give up. He doesn't give up. He is the world's pettiest man. He doesn't give up for shit. Like, once he decides that you need to like die, like, he's not gonna give up. So did that, and that's really all I have to say. So let's kick it to Brian. Who do you got?
Oh, well, I thought this was for a fist fight. I didn't know this was for a chess battle. So my talk show host that I decided to go with is Steve Wilkos. You want to talk about big, tall energy, coming in at 6'3", this former Chicago police officer, then bouncer for Jerry Springer, probably the worst and weirdest talk show of its time, then to only get his own spinoff to become an even weirder talk show where he just yells at people and then kicks them off stage. I don't know. So I think he could kick the shit out of pretty much any talk show host because, all right, here's the thing. I heard your stats, you put John Oliver's attack out of 3. I also put Steve Wilkos' attack out of 3, but I'm going to put it down to 2.5 for what you said, because your
We round up, so it's going to be 3.
His speed, he's not fast. Doug, he's not in his prime. Steve Wilkos is getting a little old. He's not fast, but he is wise and he is crafty. So with his attack, I still think he has some strengths. He's definitely going to throw a chair, and he's definitely going to kick the person off his stage.
No
That
weapons.
is 2 of his
He cannot
key
use
moves.
chairs.
I love how it lined up on his face just like that. He's like, get the hell off my stage, and he's going to throw a chair at you. But he's a former cop, so I'm not saying he's going to shoot somebody, but he's definitely going to have a flashlight that you could whoop the shit out of somebody with. He's definitely going to have random things that you might not be able to decipher whether it's a weapon or not. He's crafty, he's wise.
No weapon.
All right, whatever. Strength, I'm putting it out of 5. Steve Wilkos is fucking big as fuck, and he's strong as shit. He's a whopper, dude. He's gonna elbow drop people. He's gonna kick your dick in. Defense, I'm gonna put it also pretty high. He's 4, but he definitely has weaknesses. Like any big, slow, bald guy. He's going to have lots of weaknesses. Probably his legs. You know, you work his legs, you work the body. And his big weakness is where I'm going to put his stamina at a 1. I don't think he really has good stamina. I think that's going to be his big Achilles heel. But I think if he comes in with enough haymakers and just goes batshit Steve Wilkos, he could just knock everyone the fuck out in sort of 6 seconds and then eat a cheeseburger and then watch another show about it. So that's my analysis, Steve Wilkos.
That is extremely fair. Like, I definitely agree with a lot of that. But, like, yeah, without the chairs and the freaking flashlights or whatever, we'll see. Because homeboy loves throwing a chair.
I'm not saying throw the chair at them, but like how a ninja would use like a smoke bomb. It's sort of a defense mechanism. Like throw the chair this way and then I go that way. You know, like serpentine a motherfucker.
Like okay, diversion, that's a
He's a cop. They like to flank.
we'll talk about it. All right. Nick Martucci, who do you got?
All right, so I picked a former sitcom star who then was given his own talk show like 20 years after his heyday because he survives. I picked the alien life form Alf from Alf's hit talk show. Now, Alf, I think, is a dark horse here. We don't really know how he fights. He lived with a family for a while. He didn't really have to defend them, but he is scrappy. He is a survivor. He survived a nuclear destruction of his home planet, Melmac. He survived on Earth, a place he was unfamiliar with. Here's the thing. I don't know what kind of fighter Alf is, so I also put his attack at 3.
Nice. I
think he's scrappy. He's small. He's an ankle biter. Man's 3 feet tall. He's got a strong center of gravity. So he's gonna come in with just sheer force, just pummelment. One hopes. This is why strength I put 4. I think that Alf is a lot of power in a small package. Here's the thing about Melmacians. They're about 400 pounds in that 3-foot frame. I can't lift 400 pounds. I don't know if you can lift 400 pounds. And something that small, you can't tip him over. If he starts running at you and he's light on his feet, he doesn't look like a 400-pound being. He moves. So I think that he has that strength that if he balls up and just charges, he's taking you down at the knees.
That's fair.
Defense, I put 2. Because, again, I don't know if he physically defends himself. I know that, again, he can withstand a beating, but I don't know if he is a blocker. I don't know if he can maneuver around. And I know that he has, like, 8 stomachs. And a stomach is a little, I'm going to give you that. A stomach is a little bit of a weak point. But the stomachs are so far down, it'll be on you to sort of get down there. Here's where I think Alf survives. Alf, I gave stamina 5.
Nice.
Alf cannot be taken down.
Dude is roughly 300 years old. He went to high school for 112 years. He studied phys ed in college. Yes, I've been on wikis. Yeah, dude. And just in his time here on Earth, he took a shitty sitcom that lasted 4 seasons and turned it into a career. Do you know how hard it is for a non-Jim Henson puppet to have a career in Hollywood? He had 5 different shows or 6 different shows, including cartoons, reboots, he had a TV movie, and he had a talk show 20 years later. You know how hard it is for a puppet to get a talk show? Only like 3 have done it. He lasts. He stays. He's a fixture on Hollywood squares. Again, he's a celebrity who is an alien puppet. He lasts. He does not go away no matter how much you beg. He is in it for the long run, and he will outlive all of us. He's here to fight and stay and survive. He didn't last this long just to be taken down by some other of your wiry gentlemen.
All right, well, speaking of long run, this has been a long walk to explain his stamina, but no, I think it was a fair assessment. I think 5 might be that might be a little egregious, but I'll allow it. I won't challenge it. But yeah, I think Alf might get his ass kicked at this point. Kind of seems like a giant fat pussy. And speaking of, let's go to our final fighter, Charles Entress. Hell yeah. Who do you got, bud?
Oh, man. So I chose Craig Ferguson.
Okay.
Craig Ferguson is tall. He's Scottish, so he's usually drunk. I gave him a 5 attack. Have you ever tried to fight a drunk person?
Yes.
Yeah, they have superhuman strength. So he also got a 4 strength, 1 stamina, because drunk people do not last at all with anything, and 3 defense, because they're also not very good at defending. But yeah, he's Scottish. He'll drink anyone under the table. He'll get shit-faced, destroy everything around you, and make you cry.
So you picked him because he's tall, Scottish, and alcoholic, and is generally just not going to win. All right, perfect. This is going to be great.
Yeah,
So Craig Ferguson.
that's why I fuck everybody up, including Alf.
I mean,
because-
I like that you kept it brief. You know, we just went through the entire fucking Alf Wikipedia 5 times and
basically.
went down every non-physical fighting attribute to explain why Alf gets like a 2 in defense. But that's cool. This is fine.
I mean, not for
All your
nothing,
picks
but
suck, and I'm gonna win with John fucking Oliver. You know why? Because I already know you can't even give him shit for being a nerd with glasses, because I'm the only person who doesn't have glasses. So y'all fucking nerds ain't got shit on my boy John.
Listen here.
Listen here.
John
all
Oliver.
tall.
glasses.
John Oliver's not beating up Steve Wilkos any day of the week. I'm calling
All
that
right, let's
now.
talk
Listen,
about it. John
Steve
Oliver
Wilkos-
versus Steve Wilkos. John Oliver, Steve Wilkos only has 1 stamina. John's gonna fucking juke this motherfucker into the ground. Steve's gonna get bored, sit in one of the chairs that he threw, eat a fucking burger, and fucking John Oliver's just gonna fucking haymaker. He's just gonna kick him straight in the throat. It's gonna be done. It's a wrap.
First of all, I would love a burger right now. Anyone would be happy to have a hamburger during a fight. That sounds delightful. But no way. You put John Oliver. The only way John Oliver could even have a chance is if he stumps Steve Wilkos like a fortune cookie or something, and that's not going to happen. Steve Wilkos doesn't have time for that. He's going to put John Oliver up to a polygraph machine, and John Oliver has too much shit probably in his past to get through that. So he can't handle Steve Wilkos'
Does a
psychological
polygraph
game.
constitute as a weapon? Do we get to use polygraphs? I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, see, Steve's too prop.
Steve Wilkos is going to punch a hole through John Oliver's face. He's going to punch his glasses off, and then John Oliver is going to crawl around looking for his glasses, and Steve Wilkos is going to step on them like the bully after any sort of after school special. And
No, he will not.
cracking
Steve
knuckles.
Wilkos is a man. I will give him this. Steve Wilkos is a man of honor. He does not like bullies. He bullies bullies. And John Oliver is not a bully. I think Steve Wilkos would lose it just because he would feel bad and he just wouldn't fight John. He'd be like, you know what? You are like.
No, he knows how to bully bullies. That's the first thing. Is the first thing you see someone on the Steve Wilkos show and they find out what they diddle kids or some shit. He screams at them. He's like, "Get the fuck off my stage! I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." I'm like, this is crazy.
That's
and
what
then you're
he
just
does.
finding yourself Googling
He
this.
never fights. He's got a lot of bark, but I don't know about his bite, you guys.
He did on Jerry Springer.
That's
Look,
true.
the only real
Springer
fight
points
here, the
about
only
Steve
real fight
Wilkos
will be
versus
between
Alf.
Steve Wilkos and Craig Ferguson. Alf and John Oliver can go in the corner and cuddle, because they're gonna have a cuddle fight.
Okay,
The only
first of all,
real fight.
We'll talk about John and Alf in a second, but all right, you got a lot to say about fucking Steve Wilkos and who's your little bitch boy, Craig Ferguson. All right, so now whenever he's done being an alcoholic, or what, I don't even know if this man's a real alcoholic, but you said he was, so I'm gonna go with it.
He's a Scotsman. He's close
Yeah,
enough.
have you ever tried to do anything drunk? It's pretty hard. They say don't operate heavy machinery or hold a baby or
Is
hold
Steve
gun
Wilkos
chucks or
heavy
any shit like
machinery?
that.
Steve
So I'm pretty
Wilkos
sure it's not going to
is
help
heavy
him that
machinery,
much
I'd
to
say.
feel pain.
Is Steve Wilkos heavy machinery or a baby? Because either way,
He's bald like a baby.
that's fair. That's fair. Well, I mean, that's just one more reason why Craig Ferguson will fuck him up. That's it.
I'm looking at Steve Wilkos and then looking at you. You just kind of look like Steve Wilkos if he worked at PetSmart or something. It's just
Shit.
if he didn't have a talk show and just decided to work security at a Target or something.
Let's talk raw numbers. Let's bring it full
Craig-
circle right now. You say Alf's 400 pounds. You know what? I'm going to full send Steve Wilkos can lift 400 pounds. Can
Yeah,
you say right now
Yeah,
on the
agreed.
record
that fucking Craig Ferguson's old goofy Scottish ass is going to be able to pick up anything other than himself plus 400 pounds. Dog,
Listen,
he has a
Craig
fucking caddy
Ferguson-
when he goes golfing. You think he can lift 400 pounds?
Ah.
I mean, he does every time he pisses. So, yeah,
Dog.
I'm putting that out there.
He has a 400-pound dog, dude.
Yup.
What?
Oh, good thing this isn't like an orgy porn contest. It's a bare knuckle brawl. Like we are.
Well,
talking
if his
about
dick's that big, his
fisting.
dick becomes a weapon then at that
Yeah,
point. And then it's a whole
basically.
different argument. He's
You
packing,
can't use a dick as a weapon. I mean, it's
he's
part of
packing
his
a different
body.
heat than Steve Wilkos.
I guess you can use a dick as a weapon. I don't know why you would. Like, I feel like it would do more harm than good in the end to you. But like,
I mean,
whatever.
it depends. Maybe he'll
Alright.
just finish.
I don't know. My money's on fucking Steve in that one. But you do bring up a good point, or one of you did, about like the 400 pounds or whatever. Elf is fucking dense. Like, he is a lead ball. Like, he is just that. It's pretty hard to beat. I mean, but at the same time, he is 3 feet tall. Like, we can just kick him in the skull. Like,
Yeah. You
repeatedly.
could just step on him. You could punch him. You could just throw yourself at him. You could just jump
like-
off. Like, just, ugh.
You ever
can
play with
kick
a
him.
skip
He
it when
can
you were a
withstand
kid?
kick.
One of those things that you put around your ankle and it spins around and you jump over it? That's
He's
what it's
not
like
a
fighting
fucking
Elf.
skip ball. All right, Charles. You know what? You're in the fucking penalty box. You tie that up.
Well, and then he talks about Elf's perseverance. He's like, oh, you know how hard it is for puppets to get a show that's not the Muppets? It's like, oh yeah, tell that to fucking Jeff Dunham right now. Like,
Yeah,
well,
tell
he's
that the
all the
fucking
way.
Kermit the Frog ever. Like,
No, well, the
yeah.
Muppets,
Kermit
they
the
have their
Frog
dicks
is
and
a
everything.
Muppet.
We respect
Yeah.
Muppets like they're people. It's kind of crazy for what we've done to Muppets. I don't even know.
I think Steve Wilkos is gonna take fucking Elf and use him like a bowling ball to take out Craig Ferguson. And John Oliver is smart
Here's the
enough.
thing. Can I jump? I feel like there's been a lot of attack on my fella.
This
And
is a
I
fight show.
haven't been
You
able
are
to
getting attacked,
report.
bro. I'm attacking
No,
you. It's
here's
Steve
the thing.
Wilkos.
Here's the thing. Steve Wilkos, maybe in his prime, could. Steve Wilkos is lumbering now. He is what all cops become at a certain age, which is a desk duty cop. He cannot fight. He has not been in the field. He is a talk show host because he was a bodyguard on a goofy-ass show. The only reason he can hold his own is because there's a bunch of like drug addicts coming in and fucking like he purposely puts himself around smaller people to feel big.
Right, so
Here's
he's
the
prepared. He's prepared himself. He's trained for years, not only as a bouncer, but also then as a Chicago police officer with thousands of Craig Fergusons. These fucking drunks. These fucking.
But
You know what I'm saying?
ago, decades.
He's
He
experienced.
hasn't trained in so long.
And then
Now
here
he's a
comes
talk
Craig
show
Ferguson
host.
from
He has
behind.
lost it.
Bam.
Speaking of Craig Ferguson, I'm sorry to break it to you because your whole battle is based on his drunkenness. Craig Ferguson is a sober man now. He's gone through his drugs and he's gone through his alcohol phases and he lives
Whoa.
clean.
He's
now.
sober. He's
Yo,
sober
Nick
for now.
really
Hand him a
was
bottle of
up
scotch.
in the wikis.
Wow.
No, I know
Oh,
my
no,
scotch
he's
is
what
sober, man.
happened.
What's he gonna do? Flick his sobriety coin at us and fucking tell us to pray about it?
Again, his fighting days are behind him. He's older now. He doesn't want to get hurt. He has a family. He's not in it to he's going to try to weasel away like fucking John Oliver. John Oliver, I don't care how much stamina he has. I don't care if he's wiry. One hit, John Oliver is out. Doesn't matter where you hit him.
Well, that's
Doesn't
true.
matter how hard you hit him.
No
One
way.
hit,
That's
and he'll
true.
be the first one to admit that.
Dog.
You ask John Oliver, can you win in a fight against, and he says no.
Yeah, but you know he will do it beautifully in his cute little accent and his adorable little checkered shirts. I love him. But like
He is adorable, and you
He's
don't put
adorable.
adorable people in the ring.
no, he would be my champion. He would be my winner of justice and righteousness.
Okay, no.
Perfect media.
I Googled it. I Googled this shit. John Oliver is fucking 6 foot and about 170 pounds. There is absolutely no way, Doug, No fucking way. Which
Pure
camera do I look at?
muscle.
No way.
Pure muscle. Oh, I'm
John
sorry.
Oliver is
Muscle?
getting knocked down by the
Muscle?
wind.
What is he gonna do? He plays fucking soccer? Maybe. He has good cardio. He can maybe run away for the longest, but that's
No
about
way.
it.
He doesn't have an ounce of fat on him. He is perfect. He's gonna.
There's a
fucking-
reason he
You
hides
sound
behind
like
his
Trump
words.
right now. If he agrees to a full body inspection for this fight, sure. If he can meet the weigh-ins, no. Steve Wilkos is going to be a lumbering, fucking just fist swinging. He's gonna be a
fat,
windmill of
lazy.
flab
He's
and a
gonna be-
fury and just fucking hit things until they're not moving anymore.
He's gonna be tired. He's
Yeah.
used to dealing with like.
He doesn't
I
need a lot of
bet his
time. He's
breathing
too
isn't
strong.
great.
He's like Shrek. If Shrek and Mr. Clean fucked, that is Steve Wilkos. And those two people are physiques that we both strive for, all right?
No,
Shrek
I want to say
and fucking
my
Mr.
boys
Clean.
like Trump, as if your guy isn't fucking glowing fluorescent orange always. Like, no, like you want to talk about weigh-ins? Tell Steve to lay off the spray tans for like a week. He's definitely gonna go down a class or two.
Hey. That's show business, baby. What do you want?
Get out of here. All right, I think we've
Steve
talked.
Wilkos is like the less strong Dr. Phil. Like, he's not there for fighting. He just looks.
What is happening?
Phil?
She was literally about to call it and just probably say that I won, but then you had to bring in Dr. Phil to get his dick kicked in too? Like, what? You want to hit
Listen, we
his
can't call
mustache
for
to get ripped
backup.
off
If
and
y'all
smacked across
wanted-
his face?
Nah, if you wanted Dr. Phil in this octagon or fucking Walmart parking lot, wherever we're envisioning this fight happening, first of all, one of the rules is we can't call it for backup. But even if we could, Dr. fucking Phil, like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not calling him for backup. I don't need Dr. Phil to kick his ass. I'm saying he could get his ass kicked by Dr. Phil.
Oh,
He's not in the match, but
that.
I look at him and I'm not afraid.
No
I'm telling you, the
fucking way.
only real
listen.
match
If
is Craig
Dr.
Ferguson
Phil
and Steve
would have kicked his
Wilkos.
ass, you would have picked him then, and not fucking Alf. All right.
Pick
Alf
that
could kick
fucking-
Dr. Phil's ass. This is
The
why.
only
Top
real
of the
match
Wait,
is
food
you
Steve
picked that
Wilkos and Craig
fucking-
Ferguson.
That fucking 400-pound, dense-ass, fucking anteater-looking, bloated fucking tick Alf, and then you pick fucking Steve Wilkos, and then fucking Craig Ferguson, someone who's like, no one's even heard of, had to Google him. It doesn't fucking matter. You know what? I think I've heard enough. I think it's time to bring it to the vote, you guys. I think I got my top two. We'll see. You know what? We'll just let the hands speak. All right. If you think my boy, John Oliver, will make it to the top two, raise your hand. Fuck you guys. All right, you know what? He's going to have a very sassy thing on his show. He's going to make fun of you all, and it's fine. Fuck you guys. All right. If you think that fucking bloated traffic cone, Steve Wilkos, is going to take it to the top two, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Flawless
Flawless victory
victory.
on that one. Steve Wilkos, definitely for sure. All right, he is a piece of shit, but like, I don't know. The stamina's got me worried, but I don't
Most
know.
cops
We'll
are.
see. We'll see. We'll see.
I would still take it to a poll with a top contender because I have the density of Elf and stuff. I just don't see it with John Oliver, and I just don't see it with Craig Ferguson. But
Whatever.
overall,
All
I
right,
see.
fine. Then we'll see. If you think Craig Ferguson will make it to the top two, raise your hand.
Motherfuckers.
I'll give him a pity vote. All right. If you think fuck Craig Ferguson, whatever. What's he gonna fucking do? Yell at me? Whatever. In a little British accent. Shut up.
Oh my God.
Idiot. Whatever.
Craig
All right. If
Ferguson
you
is coming
think
for y'all.
listen, we got one more vote. If you think Alf will make it to the top two, raise your hand. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see it.
I
I
want
want
to
to
see
see what
it.
other people think. There's a lot
I
of
don't
good
think
points.
he'd be the number one, but I want to see it. So
Mhm.
there you have it, folks. It is between Steve Wilkos and Alf. No idea
Yes.
what fucking happened. They have both not been relevant since like maybe the early 2000s at best.
I watch
But-
Steve Wilkos all the time with him. What are you talking about?
Whatever. We did it, everybody. Thank you so much. It's up to you guys. You got to go to my Instagram story and vote in the poll for which of these fucking fucknuts you think is the top number one brawler. All right. My name is Brianna. Thank you so much to Brian BBQ. Nick Martucci, and Charles Entress for coming on Punch House and hanging out with us. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's our show. We will see you next week. Bye.